Geico makes it easy to get affordable renter's insurance in as little as 90 seconds. And then you'll start to wonder why everything else isn't so fast. Like, why does it take so long to do the dishes? A meal that's gone in 3 requires 45 minutes worth of dishes. Doesn't make sense. But it does make sense to get renter's insurance through Geico. That way, that pile of dirty dishes and the other things you love are covered. Get more with Geico.
Welcome to Astronomy Daily. I'm your host, Anna, and we've got a busy show today exploring the latest developments in space exploration and astronomy. From technical challenges facing newly launched spacecraft to groundbreaking plans for the future of space stations, we're covering it all. Today, we'll dive into the recent troubles faced by NASA's Lunar Trailblazer and the Odin spacecraft following their launch, and we'll get you up to speed on SpaceX's latest approval for their next Starship test flight. We've also got fascinating new research about life aboard the International Space Station that might surprise you, and some exciting updates about Axiom Space's ambitious plans to create their own commercial space station. But that's not all. We've got some truly cosmic news about our closest stellar neighbor, Alpha Centauri, and how it might be sending us some interstellar visitors. And for all you skywatchers out there, we'll wrap up with a guide to what you can spot in the March night sky, including some spectacular celestial events you won't want to miss. So stick around as we explore these stories and more, right here on Astronomy Daily. Let's get started. 2 spacecraft launched as part of the recent IM-2 lunar mission are experiencing significant challenges. NASA's Lunar Trailblazer and the startup Astroforge's Odin spacecraft are both facing communication issues after their deployment from the Falcon 9 rocket. The Lunar Trailblazer initially powered up and started transmitting as planned, but about 12 hours after launch, NASA lost all communication with the spacecraft. While contact was eventually restored, the team has detected concerning intermittent power system issues. Controllers are now working to fully restore commanding capabilities and develop solutions for these power problems. This is particularly crucial as the Lunar Trailblazer has some time-sensitive maneuvers ahead. The spacecraft needs to perform 2 trajectory corrections before a lunar flyby scheduled for March 3rd, followed by another flyby in May. If all goes according to plan, it should enter lunar orbit in July, where it will begin its 2-year mission, mapping water on the moon's surface. Meanwhile, Astroforge's Odin spacecraft, designed to investigate metallic asteroids, is facing its own set of challenges. While the team is receiving carrier signals from the spacecraft, they haven't been able to get any telemetry data. This has left them in a difficult position. They know the spacecraft is alive, but they can't get detailed information about its status. The company is exploring several possible explanations, including ground network hardware problems and potential interference issues. There's also a possibility that Odin might be in an uncontrolled tumble, though recent data suggests this is unlikely. Time is of the essence for Odin as well. Without intervention from the ground, the spacecraft is programmed to perform an automatic burn about 6.5 days after launch to set it on course for its target asteroid. However, even slight position errors could make tracking the spacecraft extremely challenging. On a more positive note, the third rideshare spacecraft from the launch, Epic Aerospace's Chimera orbital transfer vehicle, is reported to be healthy and operating normally. The primary mission vehicle, Intuitive Machines' IM-2 lunar lander, is also in excellent condition as it continues its journey toward a planned March 6th moon landing. Next up, a Starship launch update. SpaceX has just received the green light from the Federal Aviation Administration for their 8th Starship test flight, scheduled for Monday evening, March 3rd. The launch window opens at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time from their Starbase facility in South Texas. This approval comes as SpaceX is still investigating what went wrong during Flight 7 back in January. While that mission achieved a significant milestone by successfully catching the Super Heavy booster using the launch tower's mechanical arms, it ended prematurely when the upper stage experienced a propellant leak and exploded over the Atlantic Ocean. The FAA has determined that SpaceX can proceed with Flight 8 while the investigation into January's mishap continues. They've confirmed that the company has met all the necessary safety, environmental, and licensing requirements for this suborbital test flight. For Flight 8, SpaceX is aiming to replicate the successful booster catch while pushing the envelope further with the upper stage. The spacecraft will attempt a nearly complete orbit around Earth before splashing down in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Western Australia. One of the interesting aspects of this upcoming flight is the payload test. The upper stage will carry 4 Mach Starlink satellites, which it will attempt to deploy during its suborbital journey. This is fewer than the 10 dummy satellites carried during Flight 7, which never got the chance to be deployed due to the premature end of that mission. This test flight represents another crucial step in SpaceX's ambitious development of the Starship system, which they envision as the future workhorse for both deep space exploration and point-to-point travel on Earth. Each flight provides valuable data and experience, helping to refine and improve the world's largest and most powerful rocket system. Here's some fascinating news about life aboard the International Space Station. And it turns out that being too clean might actually be a problem. A new study suggests that the ultra-sterile environment of the ISS could be contributing to various health issues astronauts experience, from persistent skin rashes to allergies and immune system problems. Scientists from the University of California, San Diego, have been analyzing over 800 surface samples from different areas of the space station. What they found was that the extensive use of cleaning products and disinfectants might be creating an environment that's actually too clean for optimal human health. The research revealed that most of the microbes present on the ISS come from human skin, with different areas showing distinct microbial communities based on their function. The dining areas had more food-related microbes, while the bathroom, unsurprisingly, had its own unique bacterial signature. What's notably missing are the kind of beneficial microbes we normally encounter on Earth from soil and water. This sterile environment more closely resembles what we see in highly industrialized spaces like hospitals, rather than the diverse microbial environment humans evolved alongside. The scientists suggest that future space habitats might benefit from intentionally cultivating a more diverse microbial ecosystem, essentially making them a bit dirtier in a controlled way. They're even proposing some interesting solutions, like using probiotic-based cleaning methods instead of harsh chemical disinfectants. This could help create a healthier balance while still maintaining necessary cleanliness standards. It's a crucial consideration as we plan for longer duration space missions and eventual permanent settlements beyond Earth. The findings highlight an important point about human space exploration. We can't just take a small slice of Earth's ecosystem with us into space. We need to think carefully about recreating the complete environmental conditions that help humans thrive, right down to the microscopic level. Next up. In some exciting news about the future of commercial space stations, Axiom Space is revising its timeline to establish an independent space station, and it's happening sooner than initially planned. The company, working closely with NASA, has announced they could have their station break free from the International Space Station as early as 2028. This accelerated timeline comes with a significant change to their assembly sequence. Instead of starting with their Habitat 1 module as originally planned, Axiom will first launch what they're calling the Payload, Power, and Thermal Module. This strategic shift will allow them to establish independent operations more quickly. Once the station achieves its free-flying status, Axiom will continue building out the facility, adding their planned habitat modules, an airlock, and a dedicated research and manufacturing facility. This methodical approach ensures they can maintain continuous operations while expanding their capabilities. The revised plan has been carefully coordinated with NASA to ensure a smooth transition in low Earth orbit operations. It's particularly important as we approach the planned retirement of the International Space Station around 2030. NASA sees this as a crucial step in maintaining their continuous presence in low Earth orbit. This development is part of a broader strategy by NASA to support multiple commercial space stations through various partnerships. The agency is essentially fostering a new economic ecosystem in low Earth orbit, where commercial operators can provide services to both government and private customers. Looking at the bigger picture, this accelerated timeline for Axiom Station represents a significant milestone in the commercialization of space. It's not just about replacing the ISS. It's about expanding human presence in space and creating new opportunities for scientific research, manufacturing, and commercial activities in microgravity. Don't you just hate it when your neighbors turn out to be, well, not quite as they seemed? Our nearest stellar neighbor, Alpha Centauri, appears to be sharing more with us than just its distant twinkle. New research suggests this triple star system, located just 4.3 light-years away, is likely sending a steady stream of comets and asteroids into our solar system, and might even be responsible for some of the meteors we see in our night sky. According to calculations by astronomers Cole Gregg and Paul Wiegert from the University of Western Ontario, if Alpha Centauri has an Oort cloud similar to our Sun's, approximately 1 million objects larger than a football field from that system could currently be traveling through our solar system. Most of these objects would be lurking in the outer reaches, well beyond Pluto's orbit, mixing with our own Oort cloud objects. The mechanism behind this cosmic exchange is similar to how Jupiter's gravity helped launch our Voyager spacecraft into interstellar space. The stars of Alpha Centauri and their planets act like cosmic slingshots, occasionally throwing their comets and asteroids onto trajectories that bring them into our neighborhood. While most of these visitors stay in the distant parts of our solar system, some of the smaller particles make it all the way to Earth. The researchers estimate that up to 10 meteors worldwide each year might originate from Alpha Centauri. This number could increase tenfold when Alpha Centauri makes its closest approach to our solar system, about 28,000 years from now, when it will come within 3.2 light-years of Earth. This research reminds us that our solar system isn't an isolated island in space. We're connected to our stellar neighbors through a constant exchange of material that's been ongoing for billions of years. Even though we've only officially detected 2 interstellar visitors so far, this study suggests there might be many more out there, silently passing through our cosmic backyard. Now, for those of you who like to look up into the sky, March promises to be an exciting month for skywatchers with several captivating celestial events on display. Early in the month, Venus will be visible low in the western sky after sunset, though it will gradually sink lower as the days progress, eventually becoming difficult to spot by mid-month in the glow of twilight. Jupiter will command attention high in the western sky after dark, staying visible until about 1 a.m., while Mars takes the eastern stage after sunset and remains visible until the early morning hours. For those eager to spot the elusive Mercury, the first week and a half of March offers an excellent opportunity, particularly for observers in the northern hemisphere. Look for it beneath Venus for about 30 minutes each evening as sunset fades. The best viewing window will be from March 7th through 9th, approximately 30 minutes after sunset. You'll want to find a clear view of the western horizon, away from buildings and trees. A large open field or shoreline can provide ideal viewing conditions for catching this fleet-footed planet. The month's headline event is undoubtedly the total lunar eclipse occurring overnight on March 13th into the 14th. During this spectacular show, we'll watch as our moon transforms into a deep crimson orb over several hours. This celestial phenomenon occurs as the moon passes through Earth's shadow, first appearing to have a bite taken from one side before being completely enveloped in that characteristic red glow. This reddish color comes from all of Earth's sunrises and sunsets being projected onto the lunar surface at once. For those interested in lunar phases, March 14th brings us a full moon, while the month concludes with a new moon on the 29th. This new moon phase, when the moon is positioned between Earth and the sun, offers excellent opportunities for observing faint celestial objects typically washed out by moonlight, making it an ideal time for stargazing and astrophotography. And that wraps up another fascinating day of space exploration and astronomical discoveries. I'm Anna, and I want to thank you for joining me here on Astronomy Daily. From spacecraft challenges to groundbreaking research about the ISS microbiome, and from Axiom's ambitious space station plans to the exciting sky-watching opportunities ahead, we've covered quite a bit of cosmic territory today. If you've enjoyed today's episode, I encourage you to visit our website at astronomydaily.io, where you can find all our past episodes and subscribe to the podcast on your preferred platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube Music. We've made it easy to never miss an episode and stay up to date with all the latest developments in space exploration and astronomy. And don't forget to join our growing community on social media. You can find us as Astro Daily Pod on Facebook, X, YouTube Music, Tumblr, and TikTok, where we share additional content, breaking news, and engage with our wonderful community of space enthusiasts. Until next time, keep looking up and wondering about our magnificent universe. This has been Astronomy Daily, and I'm Anna, signing off.